scoring this bout from ringside. From the United States, Larry Hazard Jr. From Indonesia, Mohamed Ruiz. From Australia, John Wright. And our referee in charge of our main event, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Pete Podgorski. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the Philippines, it's time for the main event of the evening, Matinding Bakbakan Ito. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing black trunks with silver trim, he weighed in at the flyweight limit of 112 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 24 wins, no losses, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the first attempt at a world title. Please welcome the challenger and the IBF #1 ranked contender from San Antonio, Texas in the United States, introducing Raul La Cobrita Martinez. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red trunks with white trim, he weighed in at a ready 111.5 pounds. His record stands at 20 wins, 1 defeat, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Today he is making the third defense of his title, fighting out of San Leandro, California in the United States by way of Bohol in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the popular and defending IBF Flyweight Champion of the world, introducing the Filipino Flash, Nonito. Once again, our referee in charge, now give instructions, Pete Podgorski.
12 rounds or less, first and foremost. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, come out banging at the belt. All the way back to the belt.
There's the final instructions for Pete Podgorski. And you mentioned only 2 fights since that punch that knocked out Vic Darchinyan. You know, that thing was compared to the left hook that Sugar Ray Robinson used to knock out Gene Fulmer 50 years ago. And you were there. It was quite a punch.
It was a great counter left hook, and Donaire had been doing well in that fight to that point, so it wasn't a punch that came out of nowhere. He'd been boxing very effectively against Darchinyan, and it vaulted him into another level, and now he's trying to take advantage of that. As we said, he hasn't been as active as he might like to be since then. But, you know, this is a match where he thinks he can make a statement. We'll see.
The champions in the red trunks. Cobrita in the black trunks. And the question that comes up, 24-0 Martinez is, but is he ready for this stage yet? And looking at his resume, well, he certainly seems to think he's ready. We shall see if he can come down here and take the title away.
He's definitely a good young fighter, and this is a step up for him. There's no question about it. Comes in off a high, and Donaire pointed it out, because he got a first-round knockout victory over Victor Proa, who was an undefeated fighter. But, you know, Nonito Donaire is one of the upper echelon, along with the Darchinians and the Montiel. He's way up there in these junior flyweight and flyweight divisions.
First round scheduled for 12. Donaire is, well, both these guys extremely engaging, very hard working. They know what they're getting into, dedicated themselves to the sport. And the one point I was talking with Martinez about is that when he came to the Philippines in the first couple of days, he was dropping so much weight, he got concerned because of the humidity. He lost 2 pounds. He was already down, so he had to start monitoring what was going on.
Yeah, he was very concerned about it.
With the right hand, and the crowd reacts as Martinez is going backwards. Donaire's trying to take care of it. He had a little Texas two-step there. going across the middle of the ring. Don't blink, folks.
Martinez made the point to us. If I can take his punch, it's going to be a very difficult night for Donaire. But even he had to say, that's the question. Donaire is a very powerful puncher. And always...
Oh, the left hook on the chin, and down goes Martinez. He's shaking it off. Did we mention the left hook? Now we'll see what he's made up for sure now. Martinez down 2 minutes into the first round. Donaire stalking now. You can see the look of bewilderment on the face of Martinez. Going back on the left hand again is Donaire. This is time when a young fighter has to suck it up and find a way to survive.
And those wild punches are not going to get it done for Martinez because he'll put himself in the harm's way of a
Got hit again.
If you press Donaire, that counter left hook will really hurt you, and that was the punch that did end Archinia.
Down goes Martinez for a second time, telling his corner, I'm all right. But boy, the power of Donaire quickly becomes evident. And you can bet they're listening for the bell over here in Martinez's corner.
He said, if I can take Donaire's power, it'll be a long night for Donaire, but so far he has not been able to take his power.
A little wobbly coming over.
Obviously, as Fernando Castrejón works in that corner, he's a man that they believe has done wonders with Raul Martinez as a trainer, but this is an important moment for him to focus his fighter and find a way for his man to just get through these early rounds. Donaire's power, especially with the left hand, well documented. A kind of a half uppercut hook, just a great, great punch. He has great power in that left hand. And there it is again, you take a look at it, that created one of the knockdowns in that first round.
Donaire makes no bones about it. He idolizes Manny Pacquiao. Wants to fight the best. Wants to be the next great champion from these islands. And he had 2 knockdowns. Obviously, what, 7 rounds the first round. So we'll see if Martinez can react with the power that you were mentioning. And even Martinez talked about it. It's so obvious. You know,
Nonito Donaire has had a couple of wins since the win over Darchinyan. The last one, he had some moments where he wanted to fight handily and won a TKO in the 6th round. There were just moments where he didn't look, he looked a bit sluggish. But the problem is the left hand again. There's the power of Donaire, and that's my point. The power of Donaire is the equalizer. He can hurt anybody at these weight classes.
He's trying to finish it early, Al. As again, the left hand. Martinez gets hit with a right. Martinez is just staggered. He's in big trouble. He's trying to stay away. Donaire wanting to put on a show on a Sunday morning here in the Philippines. The left hand, down goes Martinez again. Madrowski may have a decision to make if this continues. Martinez kept saying he's all right, and it's got to be a shocking situation for a guy that's undefeated coming in to be manhandled like this in the first 2 rounds.
You know, as Donaire was landing at left hook, Martinez actually landed a nice counter right hand, but Donaire's punch was so much more powerful. Donaire's taking a lot of risks and chances the way he's attacking Martinez, but Martinez has not been able to land that one big punch to push Donaire off it.
Down to the body goes Donaire. Martinez surviving so far.
Nice right hand by Martinez. Nonito Donaire is just throwing caution to the wind, and of course it's working because he's knocked Martinez down 3 times.
No fear whatsoever is what that's called. There's the left hand again. It's so powerful, Al. It just staggers him every time he even slightly lands it. It just gets him completely off kilter. Now he's trying to come back with a jab and show a little speed. Good right hand, though.
Let me tell you, Martinez found an overhand right, and he has landed it against Donaire because Donaire is throwing all caution to the wind. This is not the boxing Nonito Donaire, and Donaire's technique has suffered a little bit because he wants to take Martinez out, and so Donaire has to beware of that overhand right for Martinez, as one-sided as this fight is. Look at right there, Donaire squared himself up just to throw that right hand. That's not the technique that normally Donaire would use.
Another hard punch at the end of round 2. Martinez wobbling back over toward his corner again.
We have had some action tonight, haven't we?
Or this morning.
Yeah, this morning. Well, it's tonight where people are watching, but this morning where we are. That's true. Dodi Boy Penalosa, who has taken over as the trainer of Nonito Donaire. His dad was formerly his trainer. A split between them. It was not an amicable one. His dad was invited to come to the fight. He set aside a ticket while his mom is here and some other family members. His dad is not. So that was a difficult transition for him. Now here's where Martinez landed that right hand just as Donaire was landing the left hook, but Donaire's punch so much more powerful. You can see that there. The right hand did not hurt Donaire, and the left that he landed on the temple sent Martinez down again in this fight. He's been down 3 times.
Round 3 scheduled for 12 from here at the Araneta Coliseum in the Philippines. 3 knockdowns so far, as Al just mentioned. And Donaire, there's a right hand over the top, really throwing caution to the wind, wanting to take Martinez out and really put on a show for the local folks.
Martinez absorbing these monstrous punches. We said he's been down 3 times, but he is hanging in there in this fight. This is truly amazing. And the more he hangs in there, the more Donaire kind of takes risks to get him out. I'm not suggesting Martinez is going to take advantage of that, but he might.
I think Martinez right now is just trying to hold his ground and get himself resettled after being knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he is. And
trying to find some kind of a groove to get back into this fight.
Well, he found one weapon, and that's the overhand right. The more he can throw that punch, especially when Donaire is off balance and attacking, the more he might make something happen. But clearly, Donaire is...
Good combination. There's the boxer you were talking about, Al.
And Nonito Donaire, it's all about keeping his distance, keeping his balance, and landing those big shots from long range. That's what he does so effectively.
Once again, I remind you folks, we're in the Philippines at the site of the Thrill of Manila, Araneta Coliseum, back in 1975, and we've certainly had a thrilling fight card this morning.
A lot of fun.
We're coming to you on a Sunday morning from the Philippines.
It's been great. Brian Valoria with a dramatic win over Melissa Solis. And here we've had lots of action early in Nonito Donaire's homecoming to the Philippines.
Nonito Donaire has 3 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. More cautious this round now.
Yeah, he's trying to use his technique and his combination punching a little bit more. He worked on his legs, biometrics, running hills, and he said he was having trouble with his legs. Didn't feel like he was strong enough in fights, and he's worked on that a lot and thinks that will help his stamina in fights as well.
Biometrics, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm like Red Skelton. I don't explain them, I just tell them.
I get the running up the hills part. I like the way he's turned into the boxer here, showing his speed and combinations, and I think maybe Martinez is grateful too.
Well, you know, he realized he wasn't getting Martinez out of there, so he was taking those risks. So now you have to retrench and say, okay, I'm going to have to box this guy a little bit and land big punches. It's astonishing that Raul Martinez is still there.
Exactly. as we'll listen in when we can. And, you know, Martinez just found the ground to stand on that third round. In case you're scoring at home, we'll be going to round 4.
Now he,
Vamos, Raúl, ya chinga su madre, vamos, moviendo, quédate, Donaire ya, dale, vas allá.
they tell Martinez to keep moving and go to the body.
Vamos, vamos, ya.
Got to stay on his feet. He's got to have a defense.
Vamos, vamos, defensa, tira, bajos. Okay, derecha recta,
And
vamos,
they're
güey,
urging him to improve his defense, which actually was a little bit better in that round. At least he got through a round without being knocked down, which is a small victory.
Yeah, he just stood his ground a little bit, no retreat in that round. And the referee, KpBurditt, comes over and says he's going to have to show some defense and stay on his feet and be all right. You know, he's keeping an eye, obviously, on Martinez after being knocked down 3 times early in this fight.
You know, Martinez's plan was to get on the inside and work the body of Donaire. He has not even come close to being able to do that. He felt like if he could work the body in the later rounds, it might slow Donaire down. But we haven't seen one body punch by Martinez yet. He hasn't been close enough. There he landed a good left hook.
Last 2 rounds, Donaire's gone back to working the jab. And there's the body punch out we're calling for. And Martinez may be able to find some sort of rhythm here and survive that onslaught he got in the first 2 rounds.
And KpBurditt did not. There's that counter left hook. He is so dangerous with that punch.
It certainly will put you on the defensive before you throw a right out.
Absolutely. You have to be really careful about how you're going to attack him.
Donaire continues to circle to his left against the right hand of Martinez. I think that's the angle he wants to come in with his left anyway. Just hoping Martinez will take the bait and throw that right, and he can come back with that counter left and goodbye.
And there was a right that missed by Martinez, but Donaire was not quite in position to throw the left hand. Donaire's jab, a very good one, and he's using it there. That's part of what makes this whole deal work. And there's the left uppercut again. And again, that punch is so good for Donaire.
It sort of comes from about 45 degrees, not straight up, but it's a twisting thing that when it lands, it's devastating. And you talk about his legs, you know, and delivering and sitting down on it. There's a good combination right there. Martinez has had no answer.
What Donaire does in this, you know, the reach is about the same. He's got a couple inches in height, and he fights tall. Donaire fights tall. That's part of the reason what makes him kind of a bad matchup for some of the other people in his division. Is what helped him in the Darchinian fight, because he fought tall and was able to counter Darchinian as he came in. And it's one of his big advantages. That and the jab and the counter punching, it makes him a tough.
There's the uppercut. There's the uppercut. And the referee just ended the fight. KpBurditt just didn't see Martinez doing anything at all. That's the 4th time he's been down. And what about that, Al? He just stopped it right there.
Well, you know, that was an interesting stoppage by KpBurditt because he didn't have a chance to really look at Martinez to decide whether he was hurt. Martinez got up right away, so I'm sure there will be some that may question that. In any case, he had been down 3 times already, and the likelihood of him winning this fight didn't look very strong.
242, round 4. But, you know, I did mention it because I heard him say it. The referee comes over and says, I got to show him some defense. He's got to stay on his feet. So the first, I guess that's a warning. So the first time he got that uppercut, he absorbed some big punches. And we didn't really see but maybe 1 or 2 punches from Martinez the whole night. I mean, he was outclassed, outscored the entire time.
Yeah, he was.
But that'll be a questionable stoppage. I think people will talk about it, but
in any case, Nonito Donaire, his performance was superb. And You know, he showed us a little bit of everything as his promoter, Bob Arum, and he exchanged what I'm sure are pleasantries, because they have to be very happy about what transpired here. And, you know, I think that as we look back at this is his signature punch. The left hand is just great. You know, he throws it as an uppercut. He throws it as a hook. And it is a devastating punch. And anybody in this division or a division above, when he moves up to 118, had better beware of it, because he can knock anybody down with it.
And that's one of those punches delivered from about 18 inches. Now, I was watching Martinez making his case with the referee upstairs here about how he didn't want the stoppage, but you have to give the referee credit. I mean, he did come over. He did say, I got to see some defense. He's got to stay on his feet. This is a young fighter. He's 24-1 now, and you don't want him to get too much damage in this fight. He's going to have to regroup now after coming down here, not expecting to get blown out like he did by Donaire. But you got to give Donaire credit for doing what he did. You've seen the power. You've seen that he has all the different tools. He can box when he has to, but when you can land punches like that sort of an angular uppercut or a left hook uppercut, or even the one he hit Martinez with, and that's his left hand, and he's an orthodox fighter, you see the damage that he can do as he is acknowledging the crowd now that came out on a Sunday morning. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. And as Al was saying, look out for this guy on the way up. 112, 115, 118, maybe following the footsteps of Manny Pacquiao, if that's possible, who's gone through every weight division imaginable. This is his third successful defense tonight. Very impressive. Martinez is waving the Filipino flag in acknowledgement of the champion and what he accomplished in the ring. A nice moment. Two great guys. I couldn't emphasize that any better. These are just two great people. And Donaire, obviously the dominant fighter. For the official announcement now, let's go up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 42 seconds in round number 4. A referee in charge, Pete Podgorski, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, and still the IBF flyweight champion of the world, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire.
What a great smile. Still has the belts. Fans looking on, acknowledging what they just saw in the ring tonight, what they tonight or this morning, depending on what your time zone is. His third successful defense, and now you understand why he got the knockout of the year in 2007 against Victor Cheney. That happened in the 5th round. This would happen in the 4th tonight as the referee stopped the fight. And he also had the upset of the year against Victor Cheney. I don't think he's going to have many more upsets of the year because people are very much aware of what they're up against now with the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. And I can see Bob Arum, his promoter, acknowledging the champion and taking the pictures for the fans inside the ring. What a great homecoming for this young man who lived the first 10 years of his life here in the Philippines. His family moved to California, to be exact, San Leandro, California. And they made some personal decisions. His father, as far as we could tell, who was his trainer, was not here tonight. Let's hear his story. Let's go up to Al Bernstein now. Al?
Here with Nonito Donaire, who did away with Raul Martinez with some monstrous power punches. You were able to get him early with the power punches. Did you feel right away you would hurt him?
I knew that my punches, if it lands, because he sits on his punches, and I know that he's gonna be there when the punches come. So I know that if I hit him with it, it's gonna be something that's gonna hurt him.
You were able to land the left hand at almost any moment in this fight. You have a great left hook and a great left uppercut. Do you feel like that's your major weapon? And when you walk into the ring, you're always thinking about landing that?
Well, I have my left as well. I mean, my right hand as well.
You don't want me to insult your right hand, huh?
Yeah. No, you know, I got him with some good counter punches with my right, and that set it up for the left hook because he was aware of not it was away with my right hand. So you know he knows of my left hook already, and my right hand was something that he didn't expect.
Now, this was a great homecoming for you to come in front of this crowd after spending your early years here. Is this homecoming all you dreamed it would be?
Most definitely. I am just so thankful of everyone out here. I am just from the bottom of my heart. I mean, everybody was great. Actually, coming into the ring, I wouldn't break a sweat. You know, my leg was groggy a little bit. And I felt nervous because I have to look good. And Viloria did his job, and I have to do it. You know, because I don't want to be the one.
That was a tough act to follow.
That was a very good fight. You know, both fighters, both champions, and Viloria did a magnificent job. And he had all the heart in the world, and that's one thing that got him here, and that gave me as well that heart to not give up.
Now, looking to the future, there is the great possibility that your next fight might be at 118 against Fernando Montiel. Is that something that you think could happen next?
I would definitely go up to 118 or 115 because you know, I like the last fight, I feel it on my legs, and I was really good shape, but for some reason, I mean, I did plyometric, I did every running the hills, you know, and then I felt my legs today, so I definitely got to move up.
All right, well, congratulations, a great win for you here, and we know there are some great potential matchups out there for you.
Most definitely, anyone out there, that's all I care about, is to get that fight. Whatever my manager and top rank Bob Arum has for me, I'm the type of fighter who wants to get everybody into boxing because boxing is a great sport. Thank you.
Congratulations. Now let's go back down to Ellen Massingale.
And you see the glowing